Hey everyone, what's happening? Lex back today for another Brawl Stars video, and we've got some sneak peeks of the next update for you right here, right now. On the anniversary of Brawl Stars, June the 15th, this is when Brawl Stars soft launched in the Canadian App Store. So to celebrate that 1 year, we're going to be giving you some sneak peeks of the next update coming very soon, possibly next week. So it's not a big one, it's just a month, but I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna cut to Ryan speaking about the update, and I'm just gonna cut to the parts where he was specifically speaking about what's coming in the update and or any applicable, clarifications.
Yes, so I have some very good news. We will be having an update before summer break. The team has been working like crazy. We just had an update about a month ago, and we're gonna have one more mini update. We're gonna try to sneak it in before July. Although it is a small update, we did put in some stuff that I think you guys will love. First and foremost, we've heard your response on Duo Showdown. You guys love it, and we can see the response on Twitter, on Reddit, and we can see in the stats ourselves. It is the most played game mode. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that slot, the Showdown slot, and make Showdown and Duo Showdown always available. That's exactly right. They'll share one slot and you can pick. So they will both always be online. You can pick duos or solo when you do Showdown. And all of the Showdown maps, you will now be able to play duos. So we have more coming too. Now, all of you guys on Reddit have been asking when the reward doublers will come. Originally, we wanted to put this out a few weeks ago, but we found a very critical bug that we couldn't fix without doing a full update of the game. So we fixed that, and now reward doublers will be coming. And I'll remind you guys, for those that don't remember how this will work, when you open a regular Brawl box, what you'll be able to do is, this is optional, you can just collect your rewards and go on, but if you want, you can watch a quick ad and then select one of those rewards and double it. And this will be coming with the update. Yes, so we are hoping to add a couple of skins into this update as well. We haven't seen skins in a long time. So we're hoping to have skins for Frank and Jesse, and if we're lucky, one more. And in addition to that, we're gonna have some balance changes, and maybe, hopefully, we'll be able to get a new map into the game, and a whole bunch of quality of life changes and bug fixes. I've seen people reporting issues with the super button sticking, so we'll fix that as well. And a few more quality of life improvements with the friend system and that kind of stuff.
All right, so that is very exciting news that Showdown will be, Duos and normal Showdown will be up all the time. So as we look right here, if we look at Showdown right here, normally where it just says Showdown, you'll be able to choose Duos or single Showdown on this page, and then you can queue in right from there. They will always be up together, and of course, Duos will be, you'll be able to play duos on all the maps, so that is really, really cool. And then further on that, 2 new skins, Frank and Jesse, and possibly another one. We'll see if they can get it done, but that is cool because I love the skins. I know that's more of a gemming thing, but if you've got a little bit of extra money to spend in the game and you want to get some cool skins, this is going to be a really neat one. I hope that Frank gets like a Frankenstein skin, like green, like the classic Frankenstein. That would be pretty cool. Jesse, man, there's so many different things you could do with Jesse. I don't know. I have no idea what it could be. You guys let me know in the comments down below, what do you think the skins are going to be? That's pretty cool. I'm excited to see all of that and more quality of life additions. He didn't go into details, but when I get that information, I'll be sure to share that with you guys. Once I get the patch notes and once we know everything that's going on and we can share it, I will share that with you guys. So be sure to subscribe, turn on those notifications if you want that information right away. Now, the second half of the video was more centered on the community roundtable. So you can watch the entire video. I'm gonna link Kairos' video in the description down below. You can watch the whole thing in its entirety. It's about 35 minutes long. There was a lot of good information in there, but what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut, I'll tell you what the questions are, and I'll just cut straight to Ryan's responses because, you probably don't want to hear too much from me. You're just curious what the community manager has to say, so I'm going to show you that, and if you want the rest of the responses, please do go over and watch Kairos' video because it's a lot of fun, a lot of good information in there, and some pretty funny moments as well. So the first question was, if you were a developer and you could implement one thing in the next year, what would it be? And Portal basically said map making, and he outlined a big stretch of all the different map making features that you could have. And This was Ryan's response.
Absolutely. I am so in love with this idea, and I don't want to speak for the whole team, which are right over there, but I think a map maker, especially for Brawl Stars, would be huge because the maps play a huge role in how a match plays out. And in addition, this is something we did for Boom Beach about a year ago, is create a map maker. But for Brawl, there are different game modes, different objectives. There's so much more you can do with a map maker. So I think the potential is huge. And this is something I would definitely be excited about doing later down the road.
The next response was actually from me. My response was, I would love to see dynamic maps, maps that move and change as the games go along. A river fills up, making it impassable, or pillars raise from the ground, or, different things happen to make the maps more interesting and dynamic. And this was Ryan's response to that.
Yeah, I love it. And this is something, as a team, we've talked about pretty much since day one. We've had ideas of some kind of dynamic maps. We've had ideas about maybe doing like a Pac-Man scenario where you could exit through the left of the map and then come back in through the right, or having a train run through the middle of a gym grab map to kind of block off the action, and maybe the throwers are really happy for a couple of seconds. So we've had tons of ideas like this, and we would love to get that done.
All right, so the next question was, if you were a developer and could change one thing about the game last year, what would it be? The first response was from Luchador on Fire. He said, I would probably go back to the old pin badge medal upgrade progression. While I understand why they did it, I just found it more interesting. And while I'm on board with that as well, this was Ryan's response.
Yeah, I mean, we've redone the meta now a couple times, and we don't have the correct answer. It's very hard to say which one was right. We've tried a couple things, and we've seen improvements every time we've changed it, so we think we're on the right track. And this is not a unanimous decision with the team. Some people loved the pins, some people loved the new system, some people loved chips way back when. But I think the pins were really cool. Just personally thinking about when we first came out with them, I wanted to get real physical pins that I could collect the whole time. So I loved it just for that reason. Yeah, I think you guys are spot on with our reasoning as to why we moved away from pins. It made the decision a little bit harder. You had to really think and plan out what you were upgrading and when. And I think for a lot of hardcore players, that's really fun and interesting and cool. But for people who are less hardcore and just want to play and upgrade their brawlers, it's very complicated, and they're afraid of making the wrong decision, even though maybe there isn't a wrong decision. But still, we wanted to make it easy, clear, and a big jump when you do upgrade a brawler.
The next response was from Portal, and he says, while it was only a recent change that occurred over the past year, I changed the event schedule such that it still offers diversity in player experience while also being noob friendly. That being said, the Brawl Stars team has already noted that they're open to changing it, and hey, they just did Duo Showdown all the time, so we'll see what the future has in store for this one. I like the suggestion as well. Let's see what Ryan has to say about it.
Sure. So I think Trickshock's right. I don't know if we will ever have the perfect event rotation, but now, at least for the first time with the global keybar, we can really see the data on which games are being played the most. And that should give us a really good sense of which ones to put up front. But to throw a wrench in that equation, we want to make sure that the first top game mode is something that's simple, easy to pick up and play, so that somebody who opens the game the first time isn't really confused by Heist or Brawl Ball, and they think that's all of Brawl Stars is that one game mode. So there's a little bit of balancing we have to do there with the first slot, but I think we can, and as you see now with Showdown and Duos, we're now adjusting the rotation, and we'll keep doing that more and more as we get more data.
Okay, so compare the game as it is now to a year ago. What is your favorite change? That's the question. And the first response was, Duo Showdown. I wish it was on more. Well, that was his favorite change. Guess what? Duo Showdown is now all the way on, so here's what Ryan had to say about that.
Done and done. Duo Showdown coming all the time. It's my favorite game mode too now, and I think most of the team really loves it. So definitely we're going to see it all the time now.
The next response was 2 safes in Heist, and I love that change as well. It makes it really balanced. Let's see what our old community manager has to say about that.
I think, honestly, one of the most consistent pieces of feedback that we received since the game launched was that Heist is unbalanced. no matter how much we tried to balance those maps, adjust the safe health, change the layouts of each map, we couldn't get it perfect. And then when we wanted to release a new map, it would take another 6 months of getting that balanced. Now that we have two safes, yeah, exactly. Now that we have two safes and they're symmetrical, it's much easier to balance. Well, it's by definition balanced because it's equal. So, and I have not seen any more complaints about it being imbalanced, and I think it was a great, great change we made that maybe we should have done sooner.
And the last response was, unpopular opinion, landscape. While it has taken me a while to get used to the controls, I do like the view on landscape. The responses were pretty great from this one, but let's see what Ryan has to say about the landscape, because that was, a pretty big spot there for him.
I think in my entire life, the word landscape will never mean a sunset or a beautiful field. It will now always mean Brawl Stars. And this was, I think, maybe the hardest decision that we had to make as a team, because we knew that the community would not take to it immediately. And that's for a few reasons. First, because when the landscape update came out, we didn't deliver to you guys new brawlers or skins or modes. It was just UI stuff, which is kind of boring ultimately. And in addition, when we first released landscape, it wasn't very well balanced, and we knew that. The brawlers were way off. Everything was way off. So we knew that in the beginning it was going to be really rough, and it was really rough on the community too, for good reason. You guys had the right reason to be mad at us, because we didn't deliver to you any interesting features, and the game was kind of broken for a while. So we totally understood, and I'm really, really glad to hear that people have warmed up to landscape, because we truly believe, for us, that's the best shot at getting Brawl Stars to global release.
And the last question was, over the past year, what was your favorite memory of Brawl Stars? The first one, they talked about a 9v1 showdown and winning it all, but the question was presented to us, what was our favorite memory of Brawl Stars?
That is maybe the hardest question anyone has asked me. I think it might also be in Showdown. There was one match where somehow I got like 10 power-ups really quickly, and there were still a lot of people left in there. So I was kind of marching around clearing people out. I think I had Bull or someone very tanky. And there was one Crow who was kind of hiding behind me with one power up, and I think I cleared out the rest of them, and that poor guy was just sitting there with me at 15 power-ups looking at me, and then he kind of did a spin and I did a spin, and then I ran into the smoke and gave it to him, and that was such a cool little high-five moment, like we survived together.
So that is the community roundtable, at least from Ryan's perspective. Again, if you want to see all of that information, be sure to go check out Kairos' video on there. You'll find it in game, on Reddit. It's going to be everywhere. Go watch it. It's a lot of fun. But the new update is going to be really cool. I mean, again, it's small, but it's only been a month, so you can't really expect too awfully much. But the fact that we're going to be getting Duo Showdown all the time now is really cool, because I do love that game mode. And the new skins, some quality of life fixes, or quality of life additions, some bug fixes, and balance changes as well. Guys, I'm only a month in. That is really awesome. They want to get this out before they go on their summer break. They're thinking about next week, possibly this update dropping live. More information on that and full patch notes and all the information. As soon as I can share it to you guys, I will. So stay tuned for that. But as for now, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, until next time, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Lux out. I know, I'm a jerk for just ending the video like that, but I mean, honestly, you should really go do some housework or something. Oh, you've already done it? Well, then be my guest. Check out some more videos or subscribe, because you've got nothing better to do.